to another exciting episode of the Beast Crayton Show. We're once again back in studio. Let me repeat that because I know you guys been following and thank you for the likes and all that good stuff. I needed to grow, but the one thing people were saying is, where's Yolanda? She's back.
I was listening to that. Did y'all think I quit?
My co-host is back, the beautiful philanthropist herself, Yolanda M. Smith. And today, what's up? Let's get right to the point because this is, I know it's a nice day outside right now. The sun is just popped up. So we're going to get right to the point.
Yeah,
we left off, this is part 2 of the continuing informative information about Yolanda's new book, Becoming Unforgettable. We left off.
You said unforgetful.
I said unforgettable.
Oh.
Did I say unforgettable? Let me do it again. Become unforgettable.
Yes.
The 7 strategies.
Yes.
Show it around so they can see.
The 7 strategies to scale your brand for maximum impact.
Okay.
To scale your brand. Because we are all a brand.
Okay.
Yes.
I noticed you didn't say nothing about my Father's Day
toes. So, for those of you that don't know, Andre has this little thing about him. He likes to paint his toes.
Boom.
And he is totally heterosexual. But he likes to paint his toes.
Hey.
You know, whatever floats your boat,
yeah.
Right? This is a no judgment zone. If anybody knows anything about me, I'm not one to sit here and judge people. You do you, boo.
I like to represent the beauty of color.
Color.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, no segregation, none of that stuff. I embrace it all. So
okay.
instead of them saying you want clear, I'll be like, give me the good stuff.
Oh.
It's almost like crack. Show me the good stuff that you got.
So he's got sparkle toes.
It's called rose gold. Yeah.
But it looks a little more golden.
She didn't understand what kind of gold I needed. So
And they're shiny. Like he's going to the mall.
Yeah.
Shiny. Yeah.
But anyway, back to part 2 of Branding for Success, Yolanda M. Smith, in her book, Becoming Unforgettable, the 7 strategies. We left off with the strategy. First, let's start from, we went from the first book, Reputation to Reward.
Mm-hmm.
Why the need, the urgency for another follow-up?
Yeah, so this is kind of like the sequel because I think in Reputation to Reward, we had to go back and explain to people what a personal brand was, right? And why it's important. Mm-hmm. And then I gave some very strategic tips and my formula on how to really create your brand, right?
You don't hate me.
Why? What'd I do?
I don't think I hit record on the hard drive. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, I do. Because I need it. I need a hard drive.
So I will actually ad-lib while he's gone. This is the reality of doing live TV, live shows, is that you can absolutely miss something. Okay, but if that's the case, wouldn't we have to start all over?
We got to start all over again. Well, that's what I like doing.
And are we actually live or you're recording?
We're live. This is recorded. This is live.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we record this so that it can go out on all our channels, Spotify, Roku, Apple, everywhere that podcasts are available, we have to start the show all over again.
This is perfect.
So this is a great opportunity for you to subscribe, like, share, comment, and follow us because we have got some guests coming up that literally are going to drop bombs, drop pearls, and it is juicy. So you do not want to miss it. We just did an episode earlier with the fabulous Linda Clemens, the renowned body language expert. And when we dropped that episode, I'm telling you, you got to be there. Yes, those were bombs, mind-blowing bombs.
Okay, so let's do this all over again. I'm sorry about that.
Sorry, guys.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show with my co-host, the beautiful, the one and only, the philanthropist herself, Yolanda M. Smith. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show for a long vacation.
Hi, Andre.
Hey.
See, y'all thought I quit. I know I've been MIA, but just to have to take care of the branding business and do what I need to do.
So this is part 2 of the first the first podcast that we did where we focused on reputation to reward.
Right. So I have 2 books. I guess if the audience is just tuning in and didn't see part 1, I have 2 books. I'm Yolanda M. Smith, the Brandtherapist. I help entrepreneurs and coaches get and stay in business by unleashing the power of their personal brand so that they can achieve influence, income, and impact. That's huge. So Reputation to Reward was the first book that I did. And this book
must read.
Was actually defining what personal branding is and how to start to build your personal brand, being very intentional and strategic with it.
Mm-hmm.
So the second book
is Become Unforgettable. The 7 strategies.
The 7 strategies to scale your brand. So one of the things Andre wanted to do is for me to come back on the show. We did a part 1. So if you haven't seen part 1, maybe
please
check
watch
it out. Because we were dropping some bombs there too about why branding is important and why you need to have a powerful personal brand. And so with that, I came out with Become Unforgettable, 7 strategies to scale your brand for maximum impact. Because it's one thing to sort of build it, understand what you're going to say to people, have a message out there. The next thing you got to do though is actually put it out there.
So why the need for this now?
Well, I think now more than ever, because we are definitely in an environment in which a brand is really critical. We have gone into what I consider hybrid, right? We've gone digital, offline, online, right? So you have to prepare yourself for both scenarios. So you need a positive digital footprint. How are you then activating online? But you have to be super clear first and foremost about what it is that you're offering people.
Right.
What is your brand? How do you want to define that? Because it's not just the business card.
Let's back up a little bit. What exactly is a digital footprint?
Your digital footprint is your ability to become discoverable. It's how, if I Google you, something comes up that would help me understand who you are, maybe even get to know a little bit about your story, if you will, or also have an opportunity to learn more about the value that you can offer. So it's really, how do you put your brand out there in the digital world? You know, you show up offline in certain ways. If you go to events, if you are, you speak, or you're at meetings, or you just do your everyday thing you do. But what does that look like online?
And it's so funny that you said that, because I'm working with a couple of individuals that their digital footprint is a negative footprint. And they wanted to continue the negative. And I was like, hey, you need to, if that's not you, why do you want to continue to follow what somebody put out there as your digital footprint?
Why would they, and what was the response to that?
Sometimes people become retroactive with what they see, and they don't know how to turn it around.
And let me say this. Okay, so there's 2 types of negative footprints. One is you can always be up in some scandal and drama, and it could get you a ton of likes and views and followers. That reminds me of, I don't know if you ever seen, like on these reels, there's a couple called Krishan and Blue. And he's a rapper, and she, I think at one point she was an athlete or something, but anyway, they were a couple. Always drama, and she was on a reality TV show. But people follow that type of stuff. So it's that level of drama does get you attention if you're looking for that level of attention.
But it may not get you the long term.
Well, you just never know. I mean, because the reality TV is here, and a lot of times that's what it does. Because without the drama, there's no TV, right? Because really a lot. I'm not getting into this because I don't want no smoke. But a lot of times there's not much substance to these shows. Unless there is drama. Right.
And I kind of get you, because I saw some pictures that my nephews have looked at, and I was like, really? Can we see a little bit of something different? But
anyway, watch that. Plus, that's putting a lot of negativity into your spirit. You got to be careful with that, because if you always hanging around, I said this the other day. I think it was Taraji that said that, and she was like, surround yourself around positive people because positive energy is transferable.
Right.
If you always hang around dark clouds, if you're always watching darkness, it's going to rain. Eventually the rain going to hit you.
And rain turns into mud.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And mud is nasty. And I can't afford to get my feet messed up. So let's go back to the book. Let's start with step 1 of the strategies. No, let me do this. I want people to read the book.
I was going to say you want me to give it all to them.
No, don't give it all to them. But explain more of the need for becoming unforgettable.
Okay, and we can talk about a couple of the strategies. So I think for me, it was just really, this is what I hear a lot. Okay, I understand I need to do it, but I'm not sure what I need to do or how to go about it. So I thought, and what we're not talking about here is your social media. You must have a positive digital footprint. If that's not addressed in here, it's addressed in the first book, but that's a table stake. So somewhere you have to have an online presence, right? Mm-hmm. Either through LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, whatever social media platform, your website, whatever platform you choose to engage with. That's entirely up to you, depending on what your focus is. Is it that was a tongue twister. Is it strictly entertainment? Or really about business, or both, right? So when you think about that, what I wanted to do, and this book is easy. When I tell you it is easy, I'm not making a long drawn out book. I'm giving you 7 strategies in 2 pages or less. And then I give you exercises to engage in to really think through how do I bring them to life. Because it's not about you reading a bunch of stuff. I would rather have you doing things, right? So that's what this is.
Being
comprehensive, but definitely very, very succinct, to give you what you need. So for example, like, the first one is your unique value proposition. Do you even know
what your value is?
And how to articulate it to people? So what is the value you deliver based off of the thing you do, your expertise, if you will? What's your expertise, right? Mm-hmm. And how do you say that to somebody so that it resonates? So part of that then goes into another one of the tips is around knowing your audience. I cannot tell you how often I work with entrepreneurs, and I love y'all to death. I do. They have a great idea, and they go straight to developing the product or service and want to put it in the marketplace and really don't even know the target audience they serve. I mean, because here's the key there. It's all about giving somebody something they want, or maybe it's solving a problem. Now, it could be a problem that they're not even clear that they have. Apple does that very well.
Really?
Oh my God.
Give me an example.
Genius.
Give me an example how they do it well.
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about it. They came out and they decided the whole key for them was simplification. You can look at their packaging. It's when Steve Jobs was alive. Look at that man. He had his own brand. Pay attention. Jeans and a black shirt every day, and some tennis shoes. That was his dress code. That's how you knew him. But his brand was synonymous with Apple. Apple was about simplification and, I'm gonna mess this word up, but it's micronization or something. But anyway, making things smaller, right? So we went from these big clunky computers to a laptop. From a laptop
to a phone.
We went to a small phone. You got a watch. Yeah, when they was developing the watch and developing what was the other thing that puts the music on it? The MP3 is what they came out. Y'all didn't know y'all needed that. But guess what? How many of you, honestly, and be honest with yourself, when Apple would come out with these products, iPad, before they could get out, you really did not know what they would do. But they built a relationship with their audience, and the audience trusted them because why? People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And y'all would be around don't even lie. Was you one of them be standing around the corner waiting for that phone or waiting for that?
I can't tell you what kind of phone. I'm a Samsung guy. Not saying I don't like Apple.
But you seen them people, and you seen the lines, and you seen people standing out there in those lines. And
they would stand there for hours.
And you didn't even know really all the bells and whistles of what it could do.
Right.
So they would anticipate your need before you even knew you had one. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden they come up up with this stuff and you're like, oh my God, this made my life so much better. I need this. You didn't even know you needed it before they told you you did. Mm-hmm. That, my friend, is true branding. That is marketing at its finest. They're brilliant at it. So it's really about saying, what's that unique value proposition, knowing your audience, giving them something that can help solve problems. If you can solve a problem, you can make money. If you can solve a problem, you can make money.
When the need for the book came to you, what were you doing, and how did it spark for you? Well, you're good at everything you do. I know that. I'm just being perfectly honest. But what was that highlight moment for you to say, "Damn"?
So
it's almost like what you were saying about, we know you need a product. You knew something needed to be needed.
I knew that people needed the actual steps to take to something. And what I've discovered in doing my coaching, even speaking across the world and multiple things as it relates to branding and business strategy, is that you can tell somebody something. And that's one thing. I can tell you need to do it, but that doesn't mean you know the how.
Right.
And even sometimes with the how, you have to recognize you don't necessarily need to know everything, but then you need to know the who. Who can help me to accomplish what I want to accomplish? But this book, as it relates to branding, is more about pay attention. Are you telling a compelling story? How do you develop your compelling story? Why is it important? Having your unique value proposition, understanding who your target audience is. And the reason for that is that as you create messaging to attract your target audience, it has to be speaking to them. You cannot just speak to the world in a blanket way. There's riches in the niches.
What do you mean, like in a blanket way?
Okay.
Because I hear that. I hear what you're saying, especially when sometimes we have guests on here who are young entrepreneurs, and when I'm talking to them or they're talking to me and they're sharing their story, I'm almost to the point that I'll be like, hey, you really need to read this book. It helped me out.
Well,
I'm not afraid to shout it to the mountain. If it helped me out,
yeah,
which we'll get to in a minute, but go ahead with the blanket. What do you mean when you say the blanket?
Well, what I'm saying is there's riches in the niches, and when you think about your target audience, I'm not saying you can't scale what you do to everybody, but typically there's going to be a segment that is going to resonate more with what you offer, what you say, what you do, than just at the masses. And so if you know how to refine that down, so for example, I have certain products like my Quick Start Branding program that really appeals to the corporate professional sector. Why?
Right.
They can come in and they can work with me, they can get in, they can hit it, quit it, get their messaging tightened up, get their social media, updated, get things happening. And then if they're off looking for a promotion or trying to get on a board or something like that, they're good. They got it. They're done. They don't want necessarily a long, drawn out year program just to get them a promotion.
Okay, can I say what I'm going to say?
What you going to say?
So, and believe me, I think when people see well-to-do individuals and they go, wow, they got their shit together, and they fail to realize not all the time they're their shit together. Because can I share what just happened?
What just happened?
As smart as she is, I had to show her how to use her phone in her pictures. So what that means is, even with that everything. Book, you don't know everything. Even something as simple.
That's why you're my who.
Yeah, but I'm going back to the book. What part that you was just saying. Sometimes even with the intelligence, even a little small thing, like you probably never even thought about that, and it simplified your life.
Yeah, you just gave me the plug.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate the plug. And go out and look at my social media. I just put a reel out using your plug.
Boom.
I did it.
Boom.
I did it. Because guess what? Action takers are money makers, and success loves speed. So the beauty is move fast. When you learn something, execute on it. That's what this book is about.
You know what? Yeah, you didn't even sit on it. And I was like,
no, it's out
okay,
there. Okay,
we're ready to go, Yolanda. And you're like,
okay, I'm putting my stuff out there, and I put it out there. Now, it might not be perfect, but
yeah, you try.
It's out there. Yeah, because you can always evolve what you do. But that's another thing in here. One of the strategies is consistency. Be consistent. Because
say that again, because when you wasn't here, when you was teaching over the last episode, you guys know what I'm talking about. Everybody was asking the same thing. Like I would ask them, like, what makes you successful? And they use that same
consistency.
Why is consistency so important versus every other aspect?
Okay, think about it this way. In order to be great at something, right? I know you can have talent. I know you can have gifts. You can have all that. But you have to have a level of consistency, because with consistency, it gets better, better, better. Take Michael Jordan. Do you think he didn't practice basketball? If you remember his story, as a matter of fact, I think he didn't even get into basketball till high school.
Yeah, he liked baseball.
He didn't even get into it. But he became one of the greatest because what?
Practice.
He practiced. And so when you think about consistency, whether it's wanting to do something and become an expert at it, or whether you're trying to get traction with your brand or your messaging, you have to be consistent, because it takes a minute to gain momentum. Get that? It takes a minute to gain momentum, because the world is crowded. So what are you going to do to stand out? The only way you can stand out is you got to have a compelling story, a compelling message, a unique value proposition. You're consistently putting it out there, adding value to people, helping them understand, because you know your target audience, how you can serve them and how you can help them solve problems.
This is Yolanda M. Smith, the brand therapist. This is consistency. This is what you're talking about, because if you watch season 1, I was not good at saying that.
It's okay.
The brand therapist.
Yes, and you said it over and over. Now you have it.
Oh, got it down.
So if you're watching, do this. Share with somebody else. Like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel, because this is the stuff that, people pay for these nuggets. I'm giving it to you today for free.
So
definitely.
My next question, and I think this is crucial too. How much of the 7 steps do you apply in your journey?
How much?
Yeah, how much of it?
Every single one of them.
Okay.
That's why I was able to create them.
Okay.
See, here's what happens. A lot of time people don't feel like personal branding belongs to them, or that they don't need a personal brand until they hit a crisis. But let me tell you this. You hit a crisis, and if you wait till you get in a crisis to build a brand, you behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
You behind the 8 ball. That's like going to the dentist, and the dentist tells you need to brush your teeth and floss daily, and you don't do it, and then all of a sudden you got gingivitis, gum disease, and cavities. Now, it's not to say that he can't fix those things, but think about it.
It's going to cost you some money.
Yes, and you hustling backwards. Now you pushing the boulder uphill. Whereas if you had been proactive and done those things, you would have prevented those issues. Mm-hmm. Same with a personal brand. When you think about it, you've got to develop it now, so that when, I didn't say if, because if you live, it's going to happen. But when that crisis comes, then you're prepared to deal with it. And you know the strategies that you need to put in place. You've got relationships and networks, which is another strategy about building those powerful networks and relationships, so that you've got people to support you and back you up. So when you get that one naysayer, that one hater, if you will, that's going to try to destroy you and tear you down, because they will, they don't understand, they're jealous, or you know what, sometimes they're just befuddled by the fact that you've been given the anointing and the grace to go at a different pace. You know what I mean?
Just shake your tree. I shake my tree a lot, boy.
Yeah.
I want to bear
what
good
came out
fruit.
of that?
You
had some rotten apples.
Hey, I shake the tree once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah.
That's a lot of shaking.
Well, you gotta let the fruit do its thing, and just like you go to the farmer's market, they're not gonna give you the bad fruit. They recycle it and put it back in the ground and hope that it grow again.
I don't add that much fruit that fast. Not to the inner circle, because again, you know about the inner circle. Yeah. You become the 5 people you hang around the most.
That's why I shake that tree.
If you're hanging around mediocre people, you're gonna be the 6th mediocre person. If you hanging around positive, energetic, like-minded people, you become that positive person.
Speaking of that, what are some of the crippling factors that you've seen since Reputation to Reward to now that have allowed people to stay where they're at?
Well, A, they don't take action. number one of the biggest things that people do wrong, and it just drives me nuts, is that you'll take the time to kind of craft the whole brand messaging and things like that, and then you do nothing with it. It's like creating a strategy and putting it on the shelf. Well, then nothing can happen because you're not even giving it an opportunity to show up for you, right? Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things I see. And then people don't understand that it takes time. We want instantaneous results.
Well, it takes more than time. What else does it take? People didn't understand. It takes time, and it also takes what? I could be wrong.
Well, the consistency, that action,
money.
Well, it does take money because you need to invest in yourself, and a lot of times we're not willing to do that. But do you know what? One of the things I learned, and it was the most profound thing, and I heavily invest in myself, And I'm not saying everybody needs to do it at the level that I do it, but what I am saying is that if you don't invest in yourself,
who is?
Then exactly, who is? And we'll nurture and take care of everything else, but we don't make the investment in ourselves. And let me tell you, everything cheap ain't good, and everything good ain't free. Okay, so you have to be willing to invest in yourself. And one of the things I learned is making some significant investments in myself put me in some rooms unimaginable. I mean, just point blank.
Give me an example.
Well, I can just tell you, I went to a retreat in the Dominican. We talked about this.
Yeah, you was gone. And I needed you in that chair.
I know, but I wasn't here.
Zoom?
But I'm around people like the social media guru, Spectacular Smith.
Right.
I mean, I'm sitting in rooms with people like Mario Arzon, and this guy is a multi-million-dollar real estate and financial guru. I was in the room with Jeff Hoffman. He was the former founder of Priceline.com and Booking.com, and he sold those companies for billions of dollars. How would I ever got to sit in a room with him, and sit there and listen to him share his experiences and give us some profound nuggets? If I didn't invest in myself, it wouldn't have happened.
What did you learn
from that? It wouldn't have happened.
From those encounters?
I mean, I learned a lot from that. I ain't telling y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I paid to get that stuff.
Well, I know, but I mean, what's the one thing that let me rephrase it. What was a valuable piece of information that was lacking from your journey that when you went there, you was fortunate to be in the room with those individuals that you go, wow, I didn't know that?
I think one of the things that I really didn't put a lot of awareness to was the fact that simply be coachable.
Okay.
Simply be coachable. I mean, oftentimes people tell you things. It doesn't mean that you like everything someone says or that you necessarily have to agree with it. But when you're learning from somebody that is already where you want to be,
you need to listen.
Have already done, you need to listen. And that is huge. I cannot express enough the power to listen. Also, the power to ask good questions, to really want to understand what are some of the significant and key things that made them successful. And one of the things I learned from Jeff Hoffman, and this was incredible, is that having that belief in yourself when nobody else does is critical. He said, he gave us the story about him wanting to make a difference, and he did 3 pretty significant things. First, the kiosk that you go to in the airport that allows you to check in and get your ticket and check your bags without having to see somebody. He saw that need because he was tired of looking at the long lines and things. He goes, what if we create a way that people could just walk up to a machine and do all this? He did that. He saw that. People told him he was crazy for even thinking about wanting to do that. And he said the number of no's that he got from people saying, no, don't do that, no, don't do that, no, don't do that. Had he not done that, our lives wouldn't be much richer today. I mean, think about it.
Sometimes those negatives make you go out and do it that much more.
But I'm just saying, if you really believe in yourself and you believe, and here's the other thing, he was getting the no's. Watch who you get your no's from. That was the other thing. He was getting the no's from people that ain't done nothing. It's his friends and stuff, and they haven't done nothing.
Yeah.
And then he tells the story about coming back and because he is who he is and such a genuine person, he's got very positive relationships. I mean, him and what's his name? Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq. I mean, he's got very positive relationships. I mean, he ended up coming back and getting his friends into different venues and things like that. But these are the same people that told him no. I mean, so I think that is one of the most powerful things. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in what you want to do, please don't take a no from someone that's not done anything, but they're just having an opinion about it.
Tell me about it.
Don't take a no from somebody that's not done it. And the other beauty is that when you think about why would you invest in a mentor or a coach, right? You would invest in them to learn from them and based on what they've done. So the people that work with me know that the reason I even wrote these books, the reason I have a program is because I've lived it. And I had to make the mistakes. And Lord knows I've made a few, right? But I had to make those mistakes so you get to learn from my mistakes and not make the same mistake. It's that simple.
And I think people probably don't realize that, but I know firsthand, when you share with me those mistakes. But
some of the things I've gone through,
What I like about it, and people fail to realize, you invest a lot of money in yourself.
I do.
So when you come and share with me the mistakes you made, the first thing that I like is that you are quick to regroup, analyze,
take accountability.
Hey, I shouldn't have did it, but I did it because this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
And you be like, hey, Trey, I lost it. Let me keep going.
Yeah, but if you're training with me, guess what? I'm not going to let you make those same mistakes.
Thank you.
That's what you do. You learn from my mistakes so you can go further faster and not have to repeat those. And so when you're looking for a coach, the other thing I tell people too is find somebody that's done it, not learned about it. It's one thing to read a book and go, oh, I'm a certified coach because you read a book. But I'm just saying, but to read a book and say, oh, I'm a certified coach because I read a book on coaching rather than have lived it. The formulas, the strategies, the systems that I teach is because I've done them and I've replicated them and I know that they work and my clients know they work. So I've got case studies, I've got testimonies about people that can tell you how they put and implemented what I've taught them and it's working.
And I tell the viewers again how to separate the two, because I think that's crucial, because I hear so many people say, I'm a life coach, I'm a this coach, and I say, well, what have you gone through? And then they get real quiet. Well, I learned it out of a book. I'm like,
I'm not here to
you're not bashing, but I think people really need to know there is some things that you should do before you just drop.
Do your due diligence for sure. Do your due diligence for sure. I mean, I just know that I tend to have better results from people that have actually experienced the things, and then as a result of it, they've been able to figure out how to come out of it, be successful, doing some of the steps or processes that they've done, and then they can then teach others. Because the beauty is that when I think about coaching to me is teaching other people the things that you've actually done and that worked. And yes, you can still learn from some of the masters, different techniques and things of that nature. But some of this stuff, you guys, is just real world, and you get trial and error, and you just have to figure it out. And when you've got somebody that has been in the fire, and they go through to get through, and they come out on the other side, that's somebody I'm willing to learn from, because I'm like, holy cow, you still standing. What the heck did you do? That's what I want to know.
What are three things? 3, 1, 2, 3. I got that Schoolhouse Rock thing going on in my head right now.
Oh, jeez, here we go. Lord have mercy.
What are the 3 things that you wanted to give to individuals from both books?
I just think...
I'm coming at you with the questions now.
Yeah, you are, but we run out of time.
We got time.
I think at the end of the day, if I could just say anything, a personal brand is a requirement, not an option. And you are already a brand. Number 2, you're a brand already. The question is are you being strategic and intentional with your brand, or are you allowing it to organically grow? And then I think the third thing I would say is that we all have a story. And it's important that you share your story, because without your story, you're not a brand. Without your brand, nobody knows the value that you'll deliver. I've been saying that over and over a lot lately, because I really believe that, because I am, when I start a lot of my speeches today, I tell them, repeat after me, my greatest power shows up when I show up as the most authentic me.
Oh,
You
look,
know,
I
the
saw your
real
last
me.
video when you was coming in there like that. I said, oh man. So how can the viewers get the book,
Yeah.
book you for speaking? How can the viewers contact Yolanda M. Smith,
Yeah, so you
the Branthipus?
Yeah, you can connect with me at yolandamsmith.com, yolandamsmith.com, and that you can get the book off of the website. You can definitely fill out the form to connect with me, and I'll be in touch with you and see how I can support you. Also, follow me on social media at branding for the number 4 success. So it's I'm Yolanda M. Smith, and my company is branding the number 4 for success. So my social media is at branding for success on IG. Yolanda M. Smith, branding for success. You can find me LinkedIn, Twitter. I don't do too much on Twitter. We were just talking about that. I gotta get better on Twitter. But Facebook, definitely. Facebook, IG, and LinkedIn. I'm in there like swimwear, dude.
Now, before we wrap up, the viewers, we get a lot of requests, man. You supposed to be you're getting ready for your own show, Coffee Black. When is that?
Ooh, he just
coming?
put me on the spot, didn't he?
Yeah. Got viewers waiting to hear more from Yolanda Smith and Coffee Black.
Yes. Well, I'm getting ready to launch a new signature program, and I really want to just get that launched. I'm launching a new signature coaching program. I'm excited to share. You guys are the first to hear this. That Brand Builders Academy is launching next month. And so I'm super excited about that, where I can actually provide tools, resources, coaching, online courses and things like that to the audience to meet you where you are. So if you're just starting, if you're just starting, or if you're more advanced and you're looking to scale your business, we've got Reputation to Reward, our branding course. We've got the Business Accelerator, which helps you to really think strategically through things. You've got the Signature program, which allows you to coach for me that's the year. We've got the Quick Start branding, all of that under the Brand Builders Academy umbrella. So looking forward to, and catch me, I'm going to be throwing out some free webinars coming up in the next couple weeks. Hop on one of those webinars so you can get the plug. I'm serious. You need to build your brand. If you're an entrepreneur or coach, come on now. I got to teach you how to go from one to one to one to many.
How can the viewers attend the upcoming academy?
I'll be promoting it on social media.
Man, you just got everything going. Man, that was new. I didn't know that was coming out.
Well, that's why I've been busy.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, share.
He said, right? Do something. DM me.
Yeah, DM. Do it all. Let's support everyone. That's
what we do here
on
the
Beast
Network. Empower, entertain, engage. Yeah, definitely.
What was those things again? Schoolhouse Rock.
We empower, we educate, entertain. Yes, absolutely.
iambeast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been no other than the one, the only Branding for Success, Reputation to Reward,
Become unforgettable. Get your signed copy on the website, yolandamsmith.com.
This has been another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast
Crayton.